vinyl community. Welcome back to a brand new episode of RB's Vinyl Corner. Today I'm going to talk about a wonderful album which is called Bizarro World by Valentine, or Robby Valentine as most of you probably know him, if you already know him, of course. So Robby Valentine actually is a Dutch musician. He lives here in the Netherlands, and he made a string of incredible records. Now, it's very hard to put his music in a specific genre, but just take rock and add epic orchestration, grand piano, very heavy and exciting guitar work and big choirs, and just, put like the Beatles and Queen, put it in one pot, mix it up together, and you will get, you will have a pretty good idea of what Robby Valentine sounds like. Very exciting music. And the nicest thing about this guy is that almost everything on the album he did it himself. He plays guitar, drums, keyboards, backing vocals, all that stuff. It's when he brings out an album, you truly know that's for 90% it's solo material that really he is responsible for making himself. It's really incredible if you think about it. I know this guy for many years, his name, because in the early 90s he had a huge hit here in the Netherlands, which was called Over and Over Again, which was a big ballad, and it was an incredible big hit. But somehow, or for some reason, his popularity here in the Netherlands really didn't came. But I understand that he was a very big and popular name in Japan. But I officially got introduced to his music a couple of weeks ago when a colleague of mine asked me if I would like to go with her to a release party of his latest album, which was just released, which is called The Alliance, which I'm going to show you here. I'm not going to talk about this album, although it's a fantastic album also. But she is actively involved in the music business herself, and she did backing vocals for Mr. Valentine when he toured for this album. And so she asked me if I wanted to go with her to that release party, and of course I said yes, of course. I mean, how could I deny, And so when I got there at that show, I was just mesmerized by the thing that I saw, and especially what I heard. It was such a great production, and the music was incredible. It immediately, from the first song all the way to the last 2 hours, I was just standing there in the crowd watching it and just couldn't believe my ears and eyes. I was really, really so excited about it that immediately I started thinking about, okay, I gotta start building a Valentine collection in my own collection. So at that concert, I bought 3 CDs. That was basically all the cash I had with me, which were Bizarro World, which I just showed you the vinyl version of it, but I bought the CD there. And you can see it's signed by himself, because I actually also had the luxury of meeting him in person for a moment. And it was really a kind guy who really took time signing albums, taking pictures and all that stuff. So I bought this CD. I bought the latest, The Alliance, which fantastic album, and I bought a Queen tribute CD, because this guy also does a lot of Queen tribute shows. Like I told you before, his music is kind of like in the same genre as what Queen did. It's hard to define the genre, but it's like, you know, rock, symphonic rock stuff. And a lot of his music is really inspired by the early Queen, especially the albums Queen did in the 70s. So he also did a couple of releases where he actually did cover versions of Queen songs, which he did in an incredible, authentic way. It's very hard to believe when you hear it. It's just almost one-on-one. Really, really good. So I was really excited, and I'm really thankful to my colleague that she introduced me to his music, because it literally opened up a new musical world for me. And then a couple of weeks later, she surprised me by giving me a very nice present, which is this album, the vinyl version of Bizarro World. She found out about my passion for vinyl, and she said, you know, I have a gift for you, and which I want to give you. And she gave me this vinyl version of the album, which I'm really excited about. I'm really happy to have it, and therefore also really excited to show you this album in this video. The album opens with Bizarro World, which is the title song of the album. It's a very pumping and rocking song, really nice, with big choirs, you know, like you can expect from Robby Valentine. I have to be admitting at this point that I haven't been listening to the vinyl record yet, because I have all my stuff packed in before I'm going to move. So I haven't been listening to the vinyl record. But if you see the track listing here, it opens with Bizarro World. But the CD version of it opens with an interlude, Bizarre. And I've been listening to the CD for many times right now. So therefore I can tell you that's a fantastic album. And it opens with an instrumental, which is a huge piano-driven part, which is really fun and really great, and it's really classical if you listen to it, but very bombastic. And then it opens with the rocking Bizarro World, really good. Rockstar is a very pumping song, and then we get You Tearing Me Down. You Tearing Me Down. The first time when I heard it, I was like, this sounds very familiar. And then a colleague of mine, I shared the hotel room with another colleague, said that it reminded him of a big hit by Justin Timberlake. And I went like, what the hell, are you gonna compare this guy to Justin Timberlake? So I killed him and threw him in the ocean. No, of course that's a joke. But indeed, when I understand the little comparison, but once the chorus kicks in, it becomes a grand rock ballad, which is really pretty amazing. A really good song that I really like. One of the highlights for me on this album is the next one. It's called Deadbeat Boy. And that would, that's the most Queen sounding song on this whole album. It really has that big choirs, but also the typical Queen sound with the guitar work. And that is an album, a song that could easily have been pulling off from an album like Queen 2 or even A Night at the Opera. It's a really Queenish kind of a song, and I really, really like that one. And I find myself putting the repeat button a lot of times when that song comes up on the CD.
Toy replacing me. Never give it up, ain't gonna give it go, go, no, no. Don't get caught, I'll suckle the joy out of all your crazy dreams. Damn it, this shit is bad, like a creeper, go down, go down. I want down, I got you under control. No way you're escaping from me.
So there's a lot of incredible stuff on this album. One of the other highlights here is the song Black Rain, which is also a very, very heavy and pumping rock song with big choirs and really, really incredible stuff. So when you can see on the back side of this album, you can see Robby sitting at a big piano, which is one of his trademarks. He's always playing a lot of stuff on the piano also during his concerts. And I've been to a couple of concerts now, and I can tell you it's really amazing. Let me show you the inside of this. So here are all the lyrics to all the songs. Bizarro World. Guys, this is a beautiful album. That's really amazing. And if I can take out the inner sleeve, it has some pictures of Mr. Valentine himself. And all the songs are written, composed, and produced by Robby Valentine himself and performed. So he uses just very, very little help from other musicians. Most of the stuff you hear on the album, he actually did himself. But at his live concerts, he has an incredible live band also, and he's also accompanied by his wonderful wife, who is also providing backing vocals during the shows. So this is the vinyl. Again, I'm not sure if the interlude that opens the CD version is also included on the vinyl. I have to, it's not mentioned here. I don't know if it's part of Bizarro World. I have to listen to this once I reinstalled my vinyl equipment. But you know, it's a fantastic album. The CD version also has an extra song, which is titled The Mistake, which is, by the way, a beautiful ballad. But this is a great album that I really wanted to highlight in a separate video. So hopefully, if you are interested and got inspired by this video, just go on YouTube and go and look for some of his stuff, because it's really amazing. If you then are inspired to get some of his music, then go to his website, which is robbyvalentine.nl, and buy some of his albums, and you won't be disappointed. Especially when you like rock music and Queen music, this is one that's going to be well worth the money you spend for it. Fantastic album, Bizarro World by Valentine. Hopefully you like this video, and I will be back soon with another adventure in music. And until then, take care.